Yeah,
What?
I watched Gundam Re-Rise.
Right? Yeah. So it was an interesting 5 out of 10.
Yeah. I need to
Can
make
you?
this clear, by the way, because Ray got on my case for this. I'm recording.
Uh-huh.
Good. Okay. 5 out of 10. Actually, how should I do this? Should I ask you for what your opinions are first, and then I'll go with mine?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Do you agree? Is it a five
Uh,
out of 10? Is it better?
can I just say what the spoiler of Gundam Re-Rise is?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah, okay. So to a hypothetical audience that is listening to this, Ray, um
Hey, Ray.
so like the whole bit of Gundam Re-Rise is that it's like a VR MMO where you scan your Gunpla in and you can like fucking play an MMO with your Gunpla. And the main characters get roped into what they think is a new story mission, but like they realize eventually that it's like they aren't participating in the story mission. They've been transported into like an alien planet where people are actually dying in a war. Um, that happens in like episode 12, and I came in knowing the twist
You.
from get go. So that added a little bit of a little bit more drama to the early interactions. Um, I haven't watched past like the first episode of season 2 because I've been trying to finish G Gundam.
Oh, interesting.
Uh, yeah, generally I liked it. I think I think 5 out of 10 is maybe a little lower than what I would put. I think it's a solid like 7 or a solid 6, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
It's like it's perfectly entertaining and you know and decently made, and there's some nice like fight stuff which is very common in these sort of build series. And I think um the main cast is probably the weakest element of the show. I think Kazami and Pav are not super strong characters, and who's the main guy? I forgot his name. Is it Hiroto?
Hiroto.
I think it's
Yeah,
Hiroto.
it's Hiroto.
Hiroto, yeah. Hiroto and Mei are a little bland, but I think they have some nice stuff going on in their personal character arcs. Uh, I think mainly where Build Divers Re-Rise like does best is in that like the action bits and also uh in the kind of secondary world building for this like alien world that they're on. I think like the villagers are generally pretty charming.
Yeah, I'm in agreement there. I think we kind of switched on what we think is good about the series because I think the main cast is pretty good. That's my saving grace from
Mm.
it. But I disagree with that. It's decently made. I don't like its animation or its art, but I should,
Really.
yeah. It, maybe it's because I watched Nichijou right before this. I don't know if you watched that. Yeah,
Yeah, no. Like like I get it because I think if I watched Nichijou and then I watched another anime, I'd be like, this
yeah.
animation is garbage.
It, I think maybe, I mean, I haven't watched other Gundams, but I think just from looking at its designs, like they put a lot of detail into the Gundam stuff, but they don't put a lot of effort into the animation itself because a lot of it is stills. I noticed, and
Like, do you mean that like do you mean that like the mechanical design is very intricate, but the actual like mech animation feels a little stilted?
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
good.
you
I
definitely have not seen the worst of it because I've been watching Gundam Seed with a bunch of like other Gundam like buddies of mine. Um, so much of Seed is just PNGs sliding across the sea across.
Yeah, that sounds plausible. I think wait, Gundam Seed is like a yearly show, so they make an episode weekly or something, right?
I think so. It has like
Okay.
49 episodes.
Yeah, this I think this has a higher concentration since it's only two core. Anyways, I can we agree that I mean I if I don't like the animation or the art, I still like the character designs. They're pretty cute. I like them.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I think
Hmm.
uh, generally I think the plot's pretty well structured.
Uh,
Like
what I gotta say
yeah.
about that is that I do think it's I think it's structured well. I think it doesn't have much filler, but I didn't think it was
Mm-hmm.
entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe I should get to the main point of this. What I wanted to say
What did you
is
find
what
interesting about it to say that it was an interesting 5 out of 10?
the thing that was interesting was definitely first the twist at the end. It really like pulls out
Sorry,
all the
what was that?
the twist at the end. That's one. The second is Kazami in general, and I think that's it.
Now, if I don't know if it's on your end or if it's on mine, but you are not speaking
Yeah,
right now.
you're also sort of lagging. Give me a sec.
Are you ready?
Okay, yep.
Connect.
Salute. Oh well, for good vibes and fun times and feeling fresh, spitting rhymes and changing minds like endless jest. Categorically attracted to the fault of the ideal of a rapper hitting 80 by default. What the fuck is happening? I'm here. I am existence. Considering your reaction, I don't think it's a positive one. Wait, no, these are previews. Oh, what the fuck? Put Party and Sketchheads was on yesterday. Lick my balls, god damn it. Ah, what the fuck? So it's Uno. We can play Uno. Cool. Oh, it's a limited time preview. I see. Okay, so yesterday I also limited time. Okay, I'll use my phone. Damn it, Vincent, you got the best of me. It's unbelievable that I have to even.
Sorry,
Oh,
I didn't hear
Jesus.
anything you said after I asked what you found interesting about the show because my connection fucked.
Is the connection good now? Can you hear me? I can hear you
Yeah,
pretty well.
yeah,
Okay, good.
it's good now.
Uh, I suppose what was
What
interesting
did you find
about it,
interesting about the show?
it first, it's the twist at the end. And second
Right.
is Kazami in general. And besides
Mhm.
that, it was just sort of like your,
I really I
yeah,
really should have fucking expected you to enjoy Kazami.
yeah, no, yep, no, that you're true. That's right.
I found him a little annoying for like the first 6 episodes. Uh
Yeah, he,
I
I think
I, I got more
Parvis
fun
and
with him.
like they have an arc and they go through their rock
Yeah.
bottoms, and Parvis and Kazami have the worst one out of all of them because Hiroto and Mei are like the cool characters.
I mean, I the thing about Hiroto is that he has this like he has that thing with his childhood friend character,
Hinata.
who yeah
Okay,
where
good.
like you know she is trying to like connect with him emotionally, but he won't tell her anything, so like she can't help him at all. And
Yeah,
there's a little bit of tension there that I assume will at some point get addressed because there's just a lot that they are setting up with Hiroto that like there's gonna be I have to assume there's going to be like a dam bursting moment of like his emotions, you know?
yeah. He's got a shell, and we're waiting for the shell to break it. I wanna. Okay, I wrote a bunch of notes, and I wanted
Yeah.
to, I don't know, go through them one by one. And I specifically wanted to go through the characters because I knew they went through some arc, but I don't know, the plot itself wasn't interesting enough for me to care about it without actively trying to write it down. So I don't
Hmm.
know. I guess this is just my interpretation of what I think the characters are going through. First of
Okay.
all, is Hiroto. He's a lone wolf, and in the first
Right.
scene, he like used a bunch of other people as decoys. So that's
Uh-huh.
for them. They think it's a sign that he couldn't cooperate with them. Eventually, though,
Yeah.
he's like overpowered. At one time, he's mostly capable on his own, but with the one time he was overpowered, he just did not ask for help. And then he
Yeah.
realizes, he should do that.
Yeah.
Okay, good, we're in agreement. The only other thing that I wrote for him is two words, dead girlfriend. I don't know what that's
Hmm.
going on about.
Yeah. Did you catch like the thing with her?
Uh, no. He's, I think in them
Okay.
some serious moments, they just show her.
Have they explained the EL diver shit yet?
Um, from what I remember, they're like data-based life forms created from the system or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I think she was
Oh,
an EL diver. Because
uh,
like it has that kind of aesthetic, that like weird kind of like flowing design sort of aesthetic that May and the other EL diver has from the first show.
now that you mentioned it, I remember him asking May, "Hey, do you think L divers could like recover and revive themselves?" So that
Yeah.
definitely hints her as one of
Yeah.
those L diver thingies. I
Uh-huh.
hope. I mean, I don't know why they keep bringing his dead girlfriend up.
I mean, it's. I think they're bringing his dead girlfriend up because it's a thing that is like affecting his
Uh,
character at the moment.
I hope it pays off sometime where she comes back. I don't. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna go to the next character then. That's all we gotta say for
Okay.
Hiroto. For pa-
Uh, I like that. I like that Hiroto has been slotted into the kind of role of a much more uh Hiroto has been slotted into the role that would usually go to a much more like positive friendship guy.
uh, wait, explain what you mean.
So like basically every other protagonist that the build series has had up until that point, up until Hiroto, has been like, a very like go-getter shonen type,
Yeah, okay.
And Hiroto's more like a Kirito, if anything.
Yeah, maybe he's one of those types that's mostly like quiet on the outside, but still has a heart of gold on the inside or something.
I like the way that his Heart of Gold manifests in like when he's praising people, he's very technical about it. Like he's
Huh.
very like he's noting like I'm thinking about Par specifically. He notes very much like he's noting like the quality of his Gunpla's build is like the way that he encourages him,
Huh.
which
Yeah, it's nice that it
comes
isn't,
a little impersonal, but it's like it's personal to him in the way that he like talks to people.
I guess I agree. It's nice that it isn't like vague and wow, you're doing a good job. Instead, it's more practical.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah,
Speaking
yeah.
of Parvis, the only two words that I wrote for him is Shinji Ikari. These two words probably don't mean much to you since you haven't watched Evangelion, but
I
now
have
that's
a good deal with Shinji, more or less,
okay.
just from like cultural osmosis. I I think I don't think that's really applicable because Shinji's deal is like way more complicated than what
Yeah, of
Par has
course.
going on. Yeah, like way more complicated and way worse for Shinji personally.
But I mean, I guess the main theme is there. They both want to run away from their responsibilities. I don't remember how Parvis mans up in the end. So because in the end he's like, oh, I gotta protect these people that I love, and that's
Uh, yeah, more or less.
okay.
I think Parvis's whole deal in that episode uh was more or less, yeah, like it was a combination of that and also the encouragement of Hiroto. Like it was a confidence boost kind of episode. I think Parvis probably has the least going on out of all the main characters, which is a
Yeah.
little unfortunate.
Uh, Before Kazami, because I think I talk a lot about him. Next is May.
Uh-huh.
Then the only thing
Yeah.
that I wrote is human shit hangs out with gay people? Question mark. Yeah, that's the
Oh,
only two
yeah.
things.
Those gay people are from the first show. Um, just
Oh,
so you
okay.
know. The pink guy, I forget his name. I don't remember names well. He is like the mentor of the original Build Divers.
Oh, you watched the
Yeah,
OG?
I watched 3 episodes of it, and I was like,
Okay,
not feeling this
good
one.
enough.
Yeah. Yeah. May. I feel like May is going to be in the. You know, neither of us have watched Re-Rise to like completion.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like May is gonna slot into the unfortunate position of like she's just gonna be part of Hiroto's arc
Hmm. We'll see.
because she has her own thing going, right? Like she like kind of has a little like that sort of robot like like what is my
Yeah.
purpose kind of thing going on. Um, and I feel like this show is gonna be like her purpose is helping people like Hiroto or whatever is like that's gonna be how that ends. Maybe I'm wrong, but like I don't know. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting at the moment.
Yeah. All I wrote was human shit. I think her main arc was just trying to find a purpose or a mission, and event in the end
Mm.
it was to protect the village. I think, or
Yeah.
humanity
Okay.
in general. Okay. Good. You know, I thought as I'm not a waifu guy, and May
Yeah.
wasn't my
Uh huh.
favorite. The best boy is Kazami, bro. Hell yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Huh?
I think I'm sensing like a pattern with the characters who are your favorites.
What is it?
Like fucking Erica, Hardcatch Pretty Cure. Who's the blue bitch from Happiness Charge?
Thanks for calling her blue bitch. It's but he may.
Ime.
What is this pattern?
I don't know. You like the ones with like the big egos.
That's so relatable. I think I might like yeah, Kazami's pretty cool. But that's not his point. He's the point of his character is that when you're trying to be cool, it makes you very not cool, and then
Makes you cringe.
yeah, makes you like when you're naturally cool, you're obviously cool. Like his hero, his idol, Rion or whatever that was called. But when you're
Captain
trying,
Xenon.
Captain Xenon, but when you're trying to be cool, you're just petty and cringe until you become cool eventually. I, fuck. Did he realize that? Because, like, someone told him, hey, did you know that Captain Xenon loses? That's what makes him cool.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I think a little more broadly with Kazami's character, it's it is that like he has to learn how to like stand for something and not just like I want to be I want to be recognized, just like to satisfy my own like kind of self-importance. Like he has to learn how to care about things. Um
Yeah.
like the reason that Captain Xeon is somebody that Kazami that like people look up to is because that he, he's got like his own principles that he's working towards. It's not about um just like it's not about being, somebody who like glorifies himself.
Yeah, I think the point is, and Kazami brought this up pretty often, all he cares about is the material stuff. Like a lot of, especially the points that he keeps talking about and the
Yeah.
glory from killing a bunch of people. But what's really cool is saving others and shit. All
I think
right.
it's the shit he says in like, the episodes where he's like, God, this story section is like dragging on a lot. Like
It's
that shit like hits different when you know the twist and all these
exactly.
people are like listening to him and like, what the fuck are you talking about? My uncle died.
I remember he just said, "Oh, this dialogue is fucking boring. Skip it." And the mayor just like, "All right, God, nice village."
Yeah.
Uh, I
I
just wrote in here, he's a true gamer. I think the one piece of dialogue that really kind of made me
Kazami's
change my mind about him was that when he said, "Oh, this is just like an infinite item bug," because after the mission, the shield stays. So if you just leave your weapons inside a mission, it'll be able to be duplicated. And I think that's a really cool detail that fits into the narrative as well as the mission mechanics, because they used that shield to like protect the villagers when the giant laser was hitting the what was the planet name? Yeah, the planet. God,
I
it's
think it's
fucking
called
sick.
Eldora.
Okay, Eldora. Well, one thing that makes him even more petty is that he just has a YouTube channel and he's like, I won't upload any videos where I'm a fucking loser. And I only got one destruction point after like three missions. God.
Uh-huh. I yeah. I feel like the I will say something about the mechanical design of the show.
Okay.
Um Hiroto, I like Kazami's Gundam. The Justice Knight's really cool. Pars Pars like dragon thing's pretty sick. The Wadom Pod is like kind of interesting. Hiroto's core Gundam, when it's just like the core Gundam, I like it, but when it has like all the other armor and shit on it, I think it looks ugly.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't have much to say about the designs really, because maybe one of the things that turned me off to Gundam is that a lot of people who are fans of it have this innate sense of liking robot designs, and I'm just not one of those people. But
That's fair.
when I looked at like the first episode, Kazami was like, "Here, I'm gonna show you what my Justice Knight looks like. It looks really awesome, right?" And he points to it. When I saw that scene, I was
Mhm.
like, huh, I get it now. People like make Gundams because they want to make Gundams they want to pilot in and look cool like that. Huh, I get it.
It's let me tell you, I've been like playing around with a high grade dagger like throughout this whole like conversation.
Hell
I've just been
yeah.
playing around with the high grade gunpla. It's just nice to have like a little project that at the end of it you get a little cool robot guy. That's just kind of neat.
Okay, give me 5 seconds to grab my Bill Diver Nami set. She's been dabbing on the top of my cupboard for the last month, collecting dust. Oh, this is awesome.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's about all we got about like for the main characters.
Uh,
Um,
Freddy is adorable. There you go.
yeah, Freddy's cute. Freddy's cute. I think I feel like Freddy's the only like real, like character out of like the villagers.
Uh,
The other guys are
sure.
like, the other guys are like, they serve well as like
I
one-offs or like
mean,
background characters. but Freddy's the only one who has shit going on, right?
No, I don't think so. I think the one I was thinking of is Stola, and that's the one that's like, I really want to be in the resistance, you guys, but
Oh
he just keeps
yeah,
getting
yeah,
denied.
yeah,
Freddy
yeah.
is just a fanboy for the build divers, I think.
Yeah, but he has a lot more he has a lot more scenes and just
Yeah, I guess.
and has a lot more input in the plot. Stola is kind of more of a microcosm to the transition of like the build divers themselves going from, oh, we're doing a weird story mission to realizing, oh shit, this is like a war.
Now you think the part where Kazami should have realized this is when, oh, this really serious dialogue doesn't fit in this type of situation, huh?
Hmm.
Jesus. The furry
I mean,
girl
to
is
be fair,
hot.
okay, I played like a bunch of
Good.
MMOs, and some of them have like weirdly incongruous dialogue sometimes.
Okay. I guess Kazami doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh,
I like
I feel like
Maya. Yep, that's it.
yeah, I feel like the point that they should have realized that this wasn't a story mission is when the town like actively changed, like depending on what they did during missions, because that never fucking happens in MMOs.
Wait, you mean like the map changes?
Yeah, like the map changing,
Oh,
because like the whole point of an MMO map is that thousands of people are going to be doing the story mission like at the same time.
yeah, that makes sense. Wait,
Yeah.
at the very end, a lot of people got logged back into um whatever
Oh,
the online
okay.
server. Everyone was like the connection got broken, right? And it was because of the
Right.
actions that the Build Diver team was on.
Yeah, so I don't know if they explain it like at that like last episode of season one, but they definitely explain it at the first episode of season two, which is that like
Shit.
the explosion that happened because of the Death Star laser, um, that like the shockwave of that traveled through space to Earth, which knocked out a bunch of like
Uh,
internet servers.
okay. I thought everyone was going on the same story mission, but it was just those guys.
No, no, no. Eldora is like a planet. It's like a celestial body somewhere out there in space that exists physically. And
Okay.
so like when like massive shit like that happens, like there are physical ramifications.
I like Maya. She's pretty cool.
Who is Maya again?
I want her to be my mom. Oh fuck, the furry girl.
Oh, okay,
I think
sure.
she's gonna, I don't know, Kazami and her have a thing going on, but I just can't tell what.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have a thing, or at least I don't I don't think the Build Divers or like the Build series has ever gone into any like explicit romance. So they're probably
Huh.
just gonna they're gonna have a moment in the finale or whatever.
Okay, well, we'll just have to see. Speaking of romances, I thought Hinata literally had nothing to do with whatever the main characters are doing, and when you mentioned that Hiroto just was not telling her anything, now it makes sense. So
Yeah.
like,
The EG is just her like fucking being left behind and
uh,
only having her memories. It's
Hiroto's an
I like
asshole.
I kept laughing at the ED as I watch because it's just like it's just Hinata just
Pitiful.
sitting there and like, man, I used to be friends with this guy.
I really, because of the ending, I thought she was gonna do something, at least in season one, but no. Uh, disappointing.
No, no, like the ED is like her bit of the story in season one, essentially.
Jesus. Uh,
Yeah,
she's gonna do something in season two, but I don't know if you can fact check
maybe.
that. If you did,
She,
oh, you didn't. Okay.
she keeps saying that she wants to log in to GBN at some point.
Huh.
Uh,
All right.
So
But
maybe she's gonna hop in on a mission or whatever.
man, how's she gonna do that if she has her cafe job?
The cafe job that is situated directly like next to the GBN login like
Yeah,
site.
but she's serving people. Oh, whatever. What I fuck.
Whatever.
You know, I didn't see the twist coming for some reason, and it was kinda
The
obvious.
twist that it was like real.
Yeah, because I don't know when Hiroto had like a big scar on his forehead. I was like, oh wow, this
Yeah.
VR system is really realistic or something.
Yeah. You were just like, oh wow, this is like how Sword Art Online fucking kills them if they die.
The headset punctured them in their fucking forehead. Well, I don't think.
Yeah.
Was there any
Yeah,
other
like
hints? I don't remember.
um yeah, just generally that like the NPCs don't behave like NPCs at all.
Eh.
Kazami Kazami keeps mentioning that like this isn't Gundam like at all.
Oh, I thought it was because, wow, this dialogue is boring.
No, no, no. When he says this isn't Gundam like at all, what he means is that Eldora does not like make use of Gundam tropes. Because like one of the big
Oh,
things of Gundam is that there aren't aliens in Gundam. It's all human shit. And the Eldorans are definitely aliens. Um and like another thing is that like Eldora is primarily just like desert with no real
infrastructure?
seas or any like they only go to a space fight in the last like quote unquote mission, which is very not Gundam like. Uh
Okay.
yeah, so like the fact that the mission hint that something was wrong. Uh the weird just like the shield like sticking the shield staying there was also another hint that like oh
Oh,
this isn't like a normal story
yeah.
mission would go because yeah in a normal story mission the shield would despawn or like if it was like an infinite item glitch or whatever then like presumably the characters could like take it back or it would be like a collectible thing
I thought it was an infinite item
but it's
glitch
just like there.
because he summoned,
No,
like, there's two shields, right?
Because Eldora is a real. Yeah. So they explain how that happens in season two.
Oh, right. I
Um,
did actually
they
watch
explain like the mechan-
the
Yeah,
first two
they explain the me-
episodes.
yeah they explain the mechanics of how the Bill divers actually like show up at Eldora with their Gundams. Um, but the bottom line is that Eldora is not a game world.
Okay. I definitely would not have gotten the Gundam tropes because I haven't watched anything else Gundam. Uh,
Yeah, and that's why Kazami keeps saying this isn't like Gundam at all.
yeah. I
So to
gotta.
to clue you in, 5-year-old watching the show, that this isn't like Turn A Gundam.
Who knows? Maybe the new story mission isn't supposed to be Gundam in general. Like, oh, whatever. Got it. Hey,
Yeah, okay.
where's my fucking waifu?
Uh-huh.
Build Diver Nami. Was that in the first one? Is
What
that
did you say?
where's where's my waifu? Build
What
Diver
did you say?
Nami. Then, oh
Hold
fuck.
on. I'm gonna switch devices because my Wi-Fi came back on.
I should do that too.
Hold on. What did you say?
Where's my waifu? Build Diver Nami from the epic series Build Divers.
She's also in Re-Rise. She's in the first episode of season two.
Wait, what? I watched that one. What the fuck? I didn't. I missed it.
Was the first episode of season two the one where like goes into the real world?
You mean episode 13?
What was episode 13 about, Naf?
From what I remember, all the main cast meet up in real life.
Yeah, yeah. The lady who is like who is chauffeuring May around, that's Nami.
Wait, chauffeur May?
She's the lady.
She's on the team that makes L divers. Oh wait, am I on mobile data? Oh, I'm not.
Hi.
Oh Jesus, your mic
Yeah.
changed.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Nami was the lady who was like in the suit and like wearing sunglasses and she was like carrying Nami around.
Is she also one of the workers at the cafe, at least before?
No,
No.
she works at a different Gundam base.
Oh, okay. Because
She
I,
works at like she works at the real one
the
in
real
Diver.
one.
Yeah, so like the one that is in Re-Rise is like completely fictional. There's no Gundam-based store there in the real Tokyo, but in but Nami works at the one that like actually is a real place you can visit in Tokyo.
Because I keep seeing Nanami in a waitress outfit and like an apron, so I thought she was a waitress of some kind.
No, no, she's the cashier at the
Oh,
Gundam base.
okay.
Yeah. I think
Is
she sells the kits and like she's just also there to like hang out with the customers as they build them.
is she gonna appear more?
I think she does. I read up a
Great.
little bit on her character page. She has a little bit more to do in the original build divers. I think show up once in season two.
All right, I hear you. Okay, I guess my next note is that the opening was good. I liked the opening.
I think Re-Rise has the weakest openings of all of the build series.
If you say so. I liked
Mm.
the Bill Divers, the OG one also, the rapping section.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I can't remember any bit from. I think the Build Divers Re-Rise first opening doesn't have any really big striking visuals to me.
Yeah, all right, that's fair. I really only base them on musical
Mm,
uh quality.
yeah, I think the second opening has a bit more because like it has that really funny bit at like the beginning of the opening where it's like the core Gundam in like a blown out like city or whatever, and it's got like that grainy filter, but it's the
Huh.
fucking core Gundam.
It
And
it
the core
makes it
Gundam is a yeah, because like the core Gundam's a little manlet.
huh. Okay. It makes it
It's
like
not even like yeah, it's not even like
overly
the Earth
edgy.
three or whatever. Yeah, I like if it was the Earth three or whatever, like maybe it would be a little less funny. But since it's the core Gundam, that's just like this little guy is very funny to me.
Alright, that's fair. I the next thing I have on the docket is world building questions. Since I didn't watch
Mm.
anything else Gundam and I didn't really list anything, I just put in world building questions.
Right.
I think
Okay.
my main thing with it is this online RPG, is it like being taught in schools or is it just on World of Warcraft in there?
It's just the World of Warcraft. It's just the
Okay,
game. It's
good.
just the game that people play. Why do you think? Why did you think it was like a taught at schools?
Because there's a lot of magical high school anime where they teach fighting and shit, and they make
No,
it a
that is
career.
yeah. That's how it is in build fighters, but not in
Oh,
build divers. Because in
okay.
divers, it's just an MMO. In build fighters, they do have like tournaments and shit, and like there's like Gunpla clubs and Gunpla battle clubs and shit.
Yeah, I've started to think more of this whole Gundam thing. At least the RPG Online is more like uh, a sport of some kind because I saw Hiroto have like a bunch of trophies that he has.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think they're like probably I think in the first episode of like Build Divers they show like a competition, but it was more like a battle royale between like a bunch of
Oh, that's
Gundams.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
You telling me
Um
there's Gundam Battle Royale? You did not show that?
yeah, I think there are like straight up like just player like wars that happen in GBN,
Fuck yeah.
which some of them are like official game events and some of them are just like happen spontaneously.
All right.
Mhm. They
Mm,
say Bandai says that like this year they're gonna make like real Gundam battles, like Gunpla battles.
what do they mean, real Gundam battles?
Like you can battle with your Gunpla like in the shows, and I don't know how they're gonna do that.
Like, do they mean?
Because there aren't it's Gunplas aren't like amiibos or Skylanders. There's no like NFC chip in them. They're just
Yeah.
plastic.
Do they mean online? Because when I heard real Gundam, I thought they were making giant robots.
I mean, they've already done that.
All right.
But
Are they maneuverable?
the one in Yokohama can walk, I think.
Ah, okay.
Well, I say walk, but it has, it has like a rail that it goes
Lol.
on. Yeah. Um I no Bandai has said that like yeah you can battle with your Gunpla in real life, and I'm like, what do you mean by that? How does that work? I
Really?
these things don't have shit you can scan.
Okay. Is there any release date?
Nope, they just say this year.
Yeah. Okay then. You know, when you told me that there was a
Yeah,
twist coming on and that it was
yeah,
coming fairly early, that just made
yeah.
me incredibly paranoid and start making stuff up that, like, oh, is this the
That
twist you're talking about? Was this the twist you're talking about? Really, just because you said fairly early. So
I
I
guess when I
thought,
say I've been conditioned by Toku and like Pretty Cure to think that episode 12 is fairly
whatever.
early into a
Okay.
show.
It's halfway through, but
Halfway
okay.
through. I forget. Yeah, I keep forgetting that the build series are like 26 episodes.
All right.
Da,
Hmm.
da, da, da,
I do
da.
have
The
one.
twist I was talking about was not May being an EL diver.
And the other thing that I thought it was that, uh, fuck, who's that other guy? The evil black Gundam dude looked suspiciously like the Mars, Gundam or whatever.
Right, the Gundam Seaboard or whatever. I forgot the name of it.
He, that evil dude, does he get an arc, or is he just there?
Yes, yes, yes. I think
Okay.
they went into it a little bit in episode one of season two, right?
Episode one?
Yeah, he's there, like in episode one of season two.
I all I oh it's episode 13 because when I think of season one
Yeah,
episode
yeah.
two I was thinking of no season two episode two I was thinking of because did you know this they basically focused on the village on like it
Oh, the Freddy episode?
yeah the Freddy episode.
Yeah, no, 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 no. That's episode two of season two. Yeah, episode 13 when they go to like a hospital.
Oh right, okay, now I remember. Okay, good.
Yeah, they were like, that's the guy. That's the guy who was in the suit.
Was he just rogue? What was his motives?
He okay, they explained it in that episode, so I'm just gonna tell you. Um he like was doing the same thing they were doing of trying to like protect these people, but he failed and was captured and like he got brainwashed and his Gundam was
Ah,
like
okay.
infiltrated into the army.
All right, I see.
This is a small thing.
Ashite?
This is a small thing, but I enjoy that Hiroto has a little satchel to put the core Gundam in. I just think that's kind of cute.
Yeah. that's what people in Japan do with their Gundams. They bring
I
their
don't know.
Gundams around.
I think, well, I mean, if GBN was real, probably, but I think most people who have Gundams just like, put them in a display shelf
Yeah, it's when I think about it, it's kind of a sin to put your well-crafted Gundam just into a pouch.
I mean, it looks like a pretty nice satchel. So, it's
Okay,
probably
fine.
like kind of well secured in there. I'm just like very nervous when I see it because it has like those V fins, those like little antenna
V-fin?
on top,
Okay,
the little antenna on top.
all right.
I'm just always like worried, oh my God, what if those snap?
That's fair. How many Gundams do you have?
I have the Dagger L, I have the Build Burning, I have the RX-78, I have
Jesus.
the Goof, and I have the Voile, the Gundam Voile. So I have five.
Okay, nice. They're like 300,000 or so.
No, the cheaper ones I have are like 150 to like 2,000, 200,000,
Cool.
and yeah, so they're around that price range actually for like the cheaper high grades. Um, some of them get really pricey, especially like the bigger ones.
Yeah,
But
makes sense.
the RX-78 is like the basic Gunpla, and like the Dagger is like a grunt suit.
Okay, I see. I'll go with my main. I mean, I'll just state what my main problem for this show is and why it's so low as a 4 out of 10. Even though I do like the main cast quite a bit, it's
Yeah.
because like I didn't feel any reason for the show to exist really up until the twist. It just felt like
Hmm.
a low stakes um show because they're just in an online setting and it's just meant to sell toys that look kind of pretty. That's
Right.
it. That's it
Okay.
until the twist.
Yeah.
And like when I watched the first 2 episodes of season 2 because I was curious if they do like continue it in an interesting way, it I'll be honest, it doesn't really like it's just doing the same things it did in the first half, but now they know it's real.
Yeah. Now we and the characters understand that there are stakes that we previously did not know about.
Like at the end of season 1, Kazami was like, I'm scared. I don't want to do this. I just want it to be a hero. I don't want to put all
Right.
this weight on my shoulders. But in season 2, it didn't feel like it affected him that much. Like he's just doing the missions as normal.
I mean, if you only watch like the two, I mean, wait, if you only watch the first two episodes of season two, then you've watched the one where they get back together and the Freddy episode.
The one where they get oh no, that's episode 13 to me. Episode
Yeah,
2 was when they realized that they were running out of magical sand and they went to
yeah.
different
I
ruins.
mean the thing with Kazami didn't hasn't done much at that point because he's really just been joyriding with the furry lady.
Mm-hmm.
And the one scene that they have together is like I remember that there is a scene of him like kind of trying to tell her something but hesitating because he knows that it would like affect her greatly and he cares about that now because he realizes she's not like an NPC.
Yeah, no, you know what? You're right. I'm stupid. I remember during at the end of season 1, he did the most asshole move possible, and it's just say like, "Oh, I'm sure they're alive," even though they saw the village get completely destroyed.
Yeah,
Oh
and we
God,
I mean we can just reset this, right?
yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
Uh, I
God,
mean,
I
and then
fucking
compared to
sad that there's
the
no Elixir Mercury this week.
and then compared to the other characters like Hiroto and Mei, they were taking it 100% seriously from the beginning, so nothing changed there.
Uh, Hiroto was sort of like I think Hiroto like kind of already realized halfway through season one. Uh, yeah, I think mostly it was like Par and Kazami who had like more doubts about it.
Yeah. Okay, sure. And I
Uh,
don't think May really has any thoughts about it because she's a
no,
robot.
May definitely has thoughts about it. She spoke about them. Uh, she was like, I mean, from where I'm standing, I was already like she said in like episode 13 that like from where I'm standing, I was already like an artificial life form brought out by the game. So in my eyes, like their lives were always meaningful to me.
All right.
Yeah.
Uh, that's pretty much all my points. So
All right.
I would say it's mostly a 4 out of 10 that has some cool characters if
Yeah.
you actively care
Your
about them. And
your rating has dropped from a 5 to a 4
and then
over the
it
course of this discussion.
and then it gets added a 1 just because of that twist at the end. Because it was mostly boring until
Hmm.
that twist. So yeah.
That's interesting that like because I feel like the show mostly does character stuff with the Bill Divers uh like until the twist, and you said you liked the characters.
I like them, but I don't love them.
All right, that's fair.
Like there's better anime characters out there in the anime
Yeah,
sea.
yeah,
Ugh.
yeah.
All right.
I'm not particularly in love with Re-Rise either. I think it's a fine little show. I have been not watching it because I've been trying to finish G Gundam, which is a lot more interesting.
Yeah. Well, weird that you'd recommend me for my first Gundam re-rise though.
Well, it's because you said that you were already thinking of like watching one of the Bill Divers because it's like an isekai thing. Uh,
And now
and
it's because I bought Build Diaper Nami. That's the only reason.
I steered you towards Re-Rise instead of the original Bill Divers because the original Bill Divers is even more of a nothing show.
Yeah, I had that feeling because they said story missions were new, so I assumed that the first Build Divers was just like incongruent missions that didn't connect to each other or something.
Yeah, like there was a plot, there was like an overarching plot, but in terms of GBN itself, it was just the gang doing like skirmishes and like fetch quests and stuff.
Oh, so like I don't know the boring part of an Assassin's Creed game in
The
most
boring part of it,
MMORPGs.
the boring part of an MMO where you hey kill 30 Zagox for me.
There's no characters to get attached to in the GBN world.
There are no NPCs
Uh,
in it unless you count like the L divers or the people at like the reception desk.
okay. If
Honestly, I
Nanami,
don't know. I don't even know if the people at the reception desk are NPCs. They might be real employees.
okay, if Nanami does something, then I'd be interested to watch it.
I think Nami does something in season 2. I think is when she makes like a login profile.
Oh my God, she's
Yeah.
she's not a robot, right?
No, she's a real person.
Good.
She works at the Gunpla store. She works at the real life Gundam base in Diver City.
The Gundam base is like the server for where uh GBN takes place, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And in real life, it's like a big museum slash store for like Gunpla.
Do Gundam's big robots exist in Build Divers?
I mean, there are the statues that also exist
Okay.
in real life.
So there's no war, basically.
No, the whole bit with the build series of like Gundam is that this is a universe where Gundam exists as an anime franchise the way it does in real life.
Okay.
The only one that is like that deviates from this is Re-Rise because it has an actual war going on.
Damn. Does So is there a Gundam MMORPG in real life?
No, there are like Gundam video games,
Great.
but none of them are MMORPGs. There's like that Gundam Overwatch that they made.
Overwatch? Wait, a
Yeah,
6v6 kind of game?
yeah, it's called Gundam Evolution.
Huh.
I've heard mixed reviews. When I,
Alright,
when I say mixed, I mean either people really enjoy it and it's like this is the Overwatch killer, or people are like, this is nothing.
alright,
I am in the latter camp. I tried it out, not a fan.
alright, good. I mean, are you already an Overwatch fan?
No,
Oh, there you go.
eh. But yeah, the build series, the first two build series were Build Fighters and Build Fighters Try, and they are structured more like, a shonen kind of martial arts tournament kind of way.
Okay, so, I don't know, Karate
Yeah.
Kid, but Gundam.
Yeah, or like a Beyblade situation.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's one of those, get your mom to buy stuff kind of shows. I like
Yeah, yeah.
Pokemon.
Yeah, and yeah, like Pokemon, like Beyblade, like Yu-Gi-Oh, it's structured into like a bunch of different tournaments that the characters like compete in.
I was joking. I actually had one more note that I did
Yeah.
not say here. Why
Uh-huh.
does May's robot have big robot titties, bro? What's going on?
Uh Horny.
Okay. I
I
mean,
don't really there's no real justification for it other than we wanted this robot to look like a hot lady, and so we gave it boobs.
I can understand for why they gave the L divers boobs, but not the giant robots. Like it just seems
She's an
impractical.
she's an L diver. That's what L divers do. They have giant robot forms.
Wait, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so it has big bazongas because it mimics the original Eldiver.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what May just looks like when she's not in like person mode.
Uh, wait, she has a different form, like her skeleton looks like the giant robot.
Yeah, yeah. The way that the show depicts it, it's like that the human looking, yeah.
I got nothing. What do you say? The
The,
human looking what?
the way that the show depicts it, it's like the human looking form of May is, like her like her social form. It's like the thing that she uses when she's like talking to people or when she's like trying to blend in. And her when she goes into like her EL diver form, when we see like into the quote unquote cockpit, it's like May still in her human form, so it's almost like her AI representation.
Okay. Well, what's the deal
Yeah,
with the Wadum pod? Why did she need that?
I think she just I think she just like wanted a mobile suit, maybe
Okay.
to because
Uh,
you need a mobile suit to log into GBN. So I
huh.
okay, so you need a mobile suit to log into GBN as a player. So
Okay.
yeah, so if she wanted to play missions, she needed a mobile suit.
Eldivers couldn't just do that? Sure.
Uh, I haven't watched the original, so I'm not sure. But I don't think that the Diver who was in the original ever like logged in, because she was just always in the system.
Alright.
Yeah. The Water Pod, by the way, the whole bit with like Build Divers is like the Build Divers like Gunpla and shit is like, oh, these are like custom builds, like from the players and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, the thing is that like the Water Pod didn't have a kit before this show.
Lol.
Yeah, the Wadum Pod that May pilots also is significantly smaller than the actual Wadum Pod.
Smaller? Wait.
Yeah, the Wadum Pod is a mobile armor, which are basically just like big warships with like limbs and shit. Um, but the Wadum Pod is like tiny in Build Divers Re-Rise.
Okay then. Uh, I guess you know what? I'm interested to see how Re-Rise ends, so I might just watch the second season someday before I die. I don't know about you.
Right. I'm honestly okay. So my current Gundam plans are I'm gonna finish G Gundam, and then I'm gonna watch through the entirety of the original, uh,
Jesus.
and then after that, I'm probably gonna watch like Double O or G Reco. Um, while while I'm also watching Witch from Mercury, which is just airing, uh, concurrent like at the moment.
Oh yeah.
Also
So
got yeah,
I guess a
I
lot.
got a lot. Yeah, I got a lot. I'm also watching Seed with my like ride fam friends. Whenever whenever we're in the mood, so I got a lot of Gundam to watch that isn't Build Divers Re-Rise.
Okay. I think that's what I was talking about when I said what is the point of Re-Rise? Because in the first episode they just logged into an online game, whatever. They built a team, who cares? But in Witch of Mercury, like at the end of the first episode they get married and then on episode 3 some girl punches somebody else and I'm like, fuck yeah, why didn't that happen in Re-Rise?
Because it's not it's a different like type of show.
Fuck you.
Uh, Witch from Mercury has been wild.
Yeah,
You should you should watch it. It's all on YouTube.
I should. Is does
Mhm.
anything is a ramp up, I guess.
Yeah, episode 6 has ramped up the stakes very
Nice.
much in G-Witch. I I I watched G-Witch episode 6 and like when I like the first post I made about it was like I was not expecting that to happen this soon.
Huh. Is it a re-rise level twist?
Not a twist really. It's more like something happens that I knew was like probably always going to happen, but it happens way sooner than I thought it would be, you know?
Okay then.
I'm like near the end of G Gundam and shit's wild there.
I feel
Uh
ya. Is G
G
Gundam 50 episodes long, by the way?
About let me
Okay
check
then.
actually. Mobile Fighter G Gundam. Mobile Fighter G Gundam has 49 episodes, so basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I really like uh G Gundam. I like
Good.
G Gundam because incredibly it's incredibly silly, but it's still got like a core like it's silly, but it's very silly, but it still has like a something that like grounds it, like the world and the stakes still like ground it in a story that I think like still fits in the wider Gundam like tone, sort of like
Uh,
like how a Gundam normally is, even though it's such a over the top super robot show.
yeah, I guess I feel you. I thought like the thing that made it realistic was because the characters act silly, but it's a real robot show, so they care about numbers and shit.
No, G Gundam is a okay. Have I explained to you what the premise of G Gundam is?
No.
So G Gundam is a show focused on the Gundam fight, which okay. So basically, in the setting of the story, Earth is like Earth is garbage. Earth is shit. So all
Nice.
of the like political and social elite have like fucked off to space colonies. Um, but they've still kept like the nationalities. So,
Huh.
people live in the space colony of Neo America or whatever. Um,
Sure.
and to prevent like a huge war between all of these different space colonies, they have established the Gundam fight, which is an international tournament where different nations send in their Gundams to fight until only one Gundam remains, and that
Hmm.
Gundam and whoever country that Gundam belongs to gets to rule the galaxy.
I
Uh,
How does making a giant tournament stop fighting between colonies?
basic, so basically, instead of like doing a normal war, the colonies of G Gundam have engaged in a a proxy war with the each individual Gundam as their representatives.
So like the Cold War, except not nuclear weapons.
No, it's Gundams.
Yes.
Uh, yeah. So and what this means is that all the Gundams represent different countries and shit, and it's like my friends have described it as somebody who is trying to be xenophobic but doesn't actually know what humans are like xenophobic about.
Okay.
So like
But like
there's
they're
mhm.
thinking just because someone is American, they fight them or something.
No, what I mean that is that all of the Gundams and all of like the Gundam pilots are like stereotypes of different countries,
Oh God,
but like
okay.
stereotypes that nobody actually holds about those
I
countries.
see.
Yeah. Like
Maybe it's like the other people think Americans are fat and they're rowdy, but then that's what they're actually like because the creator thought that was the case.
so okay. So like focusing on like the American Gundam is called the Gundam Maxter, and it's like a football Gundam. It's got like
Uh-huh.
a football helmet, uh,
Okay.
and and its super mode is that it becomes a boxer.
Sure.
Uh, and its pilot is a guy named Chibity Crockett, who I can only describe
uh,
as what if he looks like if Steven Universe was 20 years old and also a cowboy.
how is this show not canceled?
It was like I, from what I understand, it was pretty popular for the time.
All right. For
I'm
the
gonna say,
time being like 90s or something?
let's see the year on this. Actually, it was in 1994.
I see.
Uh, One funny thing about G Gundam actually is that you know it's it's playing off of the nation stereotypes as they were in the 90s. Um, and the funniest thing that this causes is that the current like country that is ruling over all of the countries in G Gundam is Hong Kong.
I don't get it, but sure.
I'm just saying that watching G Gundam now in 2022 and having the show say the premier superpower in like 50 years is gonna be Hong Kong.
I mean, I guess it's China.
Like, Nafi, have you kept up with Hong Kong
No.
recently? Hong Kong has lost its sovereignty and is now just like basically a vassal state of China.
Wait, okay, is it not China or is it still a part of China?
So okay, before it was definitely politically and culturally connected to China, but it was a separate like political entity from China, but now it isn't. Now it's just basically a
All
vassal
right.
state of the mainland. Here's what Chibity Crockett looks like, by the way.
It is. Does Hong Kong have its own military? Oh my God.
This is what Chippy Crockett looks like.
Reminds me of a furry space dandy.
He kind of does. Yeah. So like there's the Gundam Maxter. There's like the fucking the lumber Gundam from Canada, who's like a big
Hmm.
lumberjack. Uh,
Okay.
there's the I think Malaysia's Gundam was like
Okay.
the Skull Gundam for some reason.
Fuck yeah. I was gonna ask if there's any Indonesian representative,
Um,
but I guess Malaysia's close enough.
Indonesia does not get a Gundam in the show, but there was like a magazine where they showed all of the Gundams from all the countries. I think Indonesia's
All
was
the
the bottom. Yeah,
okay.
I think Indonesia's was the bottom Gundam.
The bottom Gundam? The
Yeah,
most bottom one? Okay.
no Barong.
Oh, bottom. Okay.
Yeah, hold on, I'm sending you a picture of the Barong Gundam.
I don't know what a
It's like
Barong is. Oh, it's a.
it's like those like weird dragon guys who like show up in like parades and stuff where like a bunch of people puppet the thing.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool looking.
Yeah, the Neo Indonesia mobile fighter Barong Gundam.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, there's like the fucking yeah. Here's some of the Gundams from G Gundam. There's the God Gundam from Japan. There's the Gundam Maxter from America. There's the Gundam Rose from France. There's the John Bull Gundam from England.
Oh, seriously? The Japanese called themselves the God Gundam.
That's like the upgrade suit that the main character gets. The first one is called the Shining Gundam.
All right. You know,
Yeah,
I said earlier I didn't really understand Gundam designs, but after looking at all these pretty colors, I think I'm getting it.
these are not what Gundams usually look like.
Uh, Usually Gundams suck then. Fucker.
Like these are like very you know comparatively over the top designs compared to like what Gundam usually tries to go for. Um, because G Gundam doesn't try to go for that like semi-real robot vibe. It's just like the Gundams are like designed the way you would design a character, basically.
All right.
Let me get like an image of fucking Iron Blooded Orphans Gundams.
Maybe the core of what you meant for G Gundam is this war that's going on between all the countries.
Yeah, so like it's a whole like thing with basically whoever wins the big Gundam fight, their country gets to be the ruler of space or whatever.
Nice.
Uh the battlefield is on Earth, which if
Huh.
you recall is a shithole now.
Yeah.
It's just like basically only the people who like couldn't afford to go to the big space colonies live on Earth. Um and it's like in the law that if you like destroy a city like during a Gundam fight or whatever, you are not like culpable by the law. You get to just like do that and nobody can stop
Uh,
you. So there's like a little bit there about like sort of kind of the class difference between the people who like are not fortunate enough to go to the big space colonies and they have to like live in basically like the slums of humanity.
all right.
Yeah, but G Gundam has a very different vibe than most Gundam shows have. Most Gundam shows uh try to be a little bit more grounded, even though at a point you can't really do that when your show is about like giant robots.
Sure. Are
Because
is
like no, yeah, no matter how much lore you like give to your like your big robots or whatever, the Gundams just don't make like sense from like a a weapon design standpoint.
Yeah, okay. Is actually all do all the different countries have a special weapon, or are they just designed especially?
The countries in G Gundam have like have like their own army of mobile suits, um, and they have their own like their own specific Gundams. But
Uh,
yeah, so like if you want to consider that special weaponry, then yeah, all the countries have their own like special Gundam that they have.
I see. Hey,
Hi
what the
guy.
fuck? Ray's here.
The
Hello,
fuck?
yeah.